everybody. Welcome to AMC Mail Bag, the very informal, laid-back, and casual show here at AMC Movie News. My name is John Campia. I'm the editor-in-chief of AMC Movie News, and I am so glad you've decided to make part of this Sunday, or whatever day you're watching this on YouTube, as a part of your day. As I mentioned, this is the Mailbag Show, where all we do is take the email questions that you guys have sent to us. Now what happens is, for those of you who may be unfamiliar with the show, Monday through Friday we do AMC Movie Talk. And we encourage you guys to send us questions at this email address, amcmovietalk@gmail.com. But we only have time every day to take about 2 questions, and we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions every week. So we started this Mailbag Show on Saturdays and Sundays to just try to get caught up just a little bit on the questions that you guys send in, and hence AMC Mailbag was born. So my name is John, like I said. Now normally, starting this weekend and moving forward, we're gonna have more than just me on the show. But AMC Movie News has had a lot of stuff going on in the past couple of weeks, and some very exciting stuff. And I'm gonna share with you a little bit some stuff that's been going on. And right now, before we get to the first mailbag question, and I'm going to let you know in advance, a lot of you guys know I have been sick for weeks. I still am. I've been told I'm probably going to have the cough for a few more weeks. So I know it's irritating that I, every couple of minutes or so, I need to stop and cough, and I'm sucking on lozenges while we're doing the show. And I apologize for that. But it's kind of what I need to do right now. So thank you for your patience with me and bearing with me as I so rudely chew on candy as we do the show, but it is what it is. So some very cool things have been happening around AMC Movie News with all of us sons of AMC, and I want to share with you. So now, of course, back in October, a number of months ago, we kind of started phase 2 of AMC Movie News by moving into the new studio. And now we broadcast our AMC Movie Talk show from the Stream.TV studios in Hollywood, California. We love doing the show from there. Excellent crew over there that help us out every single day. So that was great. And then we hit that milestone of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now remember, all this has happened because of you guys. Yes, we do this for AMC, which is a big company. But AMC has never made one commercial. We've never had any promotion. We've never made any posters. You don't walk into an AMC movie theater and see a AMC Movie Talk poster. All this growth and everything has happened because of you guys. There's been no corporate promotion, nothing. It's all been you guys for that growth. So a couple of months ago, we hit 100,000 subscribers, and now we've added well over 30,000 more. So we're over 130,000 subscribers now. And on Tuesday, in 2 days from now, we're launching our new weekly show called AMC Versus, which I'm really excited about. So AMC Versus, it'll air on Tuesday. We'll put up on the YouTube channel on Tuesdays. It's kind of like our version of a courtroom drama. So every week, we're going to take your suggestions on Twitter as far as a topic, an adversarial topic. And we're kicking off our very first show, and the topic is going to be Christian Bale as Batman or Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Who has given us the best comic book hero performance? And then we're going to have 2 combatants, if you will, arguing one for each side. And this week, it's going to be John Schnepp arguing and debating on the side of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. And it's going to be Aaron Darling arguing for Christian Bale as Batman. And I'm going to be the judge just for this week, but we're going to rotate. So different people will be judges every week. I'll be one of the combatants sometimes. And at the end of the debate, the judge will give their verdict. So at the end of this debate, I'll give my verdict as to who I think won. But the judge's verdict is only worth 10% of the overall result. The other 90% is you guys. So for every episode, we're going to put in a link to a online poll where you guys vote for who won the argument. And then on Friday, on the Friday Mailbag show, or not the Friday Mailbag show, on the Friday AMC Movie Talk show, we will announce the winner of that week's AMC Versus. I know it's kind of hard to picture the way I'm describing it. I know I'm not doing a very good job describing it, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe it'll suck. It's possible. It could totally suck. I mean, we haven't done it yet, but we're shooting the first episode tomorrow, and we're going to air it. We're going to put it on YouTube on Tuesday. So please watch AMC Versus this Tuesday and participate and vote. And make sure you send us suggestions for new topics. And after you see the show, send us some suggestions on how you think we can improve it and make it better, because we're just starting out. And we want it to evolve, and we want to make it as good as we can for you guys. So that's been happening. And now, and I'm able to say this now, a new thing that I'm very excited about is happening. AMC, as I've mentioned, AMC's never done any promotion of AMC Movie News or AMC Movie Talk or anything like that because we've been new. You know, we've been working for about a year to develop and to see if it would work. And I guess AMC's decided it would work. Another great thing that's happened recently, we won Best News Series online at the Academy of Web Television Awards, obviously, the other week. So lots of good things are happening. And so AMC just told us a couple of weeks ago that starting in a few weeks, a promo video for AMC Movie Talk is going to start going on the big screen at AMC theaters during the pre-show for movies. So if you've got an AMC theater near you and you go to a movie at AMC, you're going to see an AMC Movie Talk promo on screen. Very excited about it. So this week we recorded the promo, and I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to see it on the screen. It's going to be big. And all this has happened because of you guys and your support and what you guys have done here. So thank you for everything you've done. Now, that's a lot of stuff. That was just a very big, long explanation to explain why I'm doing the show alone today and why I'm just recording this on Sunday, because we've had all that extra stuff piled in this week that it's left us a little bit shorthanded and a little bit tight on time. So I'm recording the show today. So anyway, with all that out of the way, let's get to the real stuff here. Let's get to the first mailbag questions. We got 6 mailbag questions pulled today, and hopefully my voice will hold out here. And mailbag question number 1 comes to us from, let's see here, Mr. Bradford Donovan, who writes, I am so sick of all these rumors going around concerning the Man of Steel sequel, and everyone saying all these bad things about the film because of these rumors. A lot of these rumors are somehow making WBDC seem completely incompetent and making this film, and people are starting to lose faith in it, all because of these stupid rumors. Now, I understand that WB/DC have somewhat dropped the ball and disappointed a lot of fans by delaying the release date, but it seems to me that people are getting upset mostly because we have no idea of what's going on behind the curtain, so to speak. So my question is this. Why doesn't WB/DC just come out and dispel and or confirm at least some of these rumors? Bradford, it's an excellent question. Now, studios like DC and Warner Brothers, I should say, they like to play their cards close to the vest, and they should. And let's put it this way. If big movie studios like Warner Brothers spent their time responding to every stupid little rumor that gets started and circulated around the web, they would just be constantly running to just dispel rumors all the time. And so they shouldn't, and they don't. And I'm glad that they don't. Where things start to change a little bit, though, in my opinion, at any rate, is when scenarios like what you're describing start to happen, where certain rumors come up and everybody just starts believing them negatively. So let's say, for example, we say that a new Green Lantern movie was coming out, okay? And a rumor started going around that maybe Bradley Cooper was going to star in it. And some people talk about it and whatever, and a lot of people know it's just a rumor, blah, blah. Warner Brothers shouldn't respond to that. If people want to talk, let them talk. They know what they're doing. keep their cards close to the vest. That's fine. But where you might have to change your view on that is, let's say a new Green Lantern was coming out and a rumor started that Justin Bieber, who is not the most popular dude in the world right now, that's what happens when you take a good Canadian kid and make him live in the States for too long. That's probably what's happening to me. I'm kidding. But let's say a rumor started going around that Justin Bieber was going to play Hal Jordan, was going to be the new Green Lantern. And everybody online hates the idea, but more importantly, everybody online starts to just believe it. And it starts being reported as fact. And people everywhere start jumping up and down on Warner Brothers about how can they be so stupid to hire Justin Bieber to play Green Lantern and blah, blah. And everybody's just running these stories through. When you get into a scenario like that, I think that changes the game a little bit. At that point, I think it behooves a Warner Brothers or any studio that has a situation like that to put out a statement and say, hey, we don't know where this rumor about Justin Bieber being Green Lantern came from. We can assure everybody this isn't true. While we think Justin Bieber is a dynamic young entertainer, there's no truth to him being cast as Green Lantern. And at that point, you need to do that. With the rumors about Justice League and Man of Steel, there have been a lot of stupid and false rumors. But I don't know that any of them have gotten to the point where just everybody believes them and everybody hates it. So, rumors about Adam Driver was going to be Nightwing in Man of Steel 2. Okay, so we know that was bull. But it was never widely believed, and it wasn't universally hated. So there was no need for Warner Brothers to kind of step up and put out a statement and saying, no, this isn't true. There was no need for them to do that. The rumors about, Vin Diesel's going to be Lex Luthor. Never widely believed, never widely reported as absolute truth, and never widely hated. And so since you didn't have all of those things, there's no need for Warner Brothers to come out and make a definitive statement. And keep this in mind too. We're 2.5 years away from the movie. Which means Warner Brothers understands the public perception about certain movies and certain news can change overnight. So there's no point in them kind of fighting rumors and all that kind of stuff 2 years out. Because a month from now, so many other fake false rumors are going to be started by certain websites that no one's even going to remember the fake false rumor that was out a month ago, and Warner Brothers knows that. So I do agree with you. Let me get your name again. Bradford, I do agree with you that I think some people are kind of turning on Man of Steel, not because of facts, but because of some rumors. But I also think that Warner Brothers knows it's not really important at this point. We're 2.5 years away. Warner Brothers has lots of truth to reveal about the film between now and when it ultimately comes out. And that's when they need to worry about it. I don't think we're at a point where Warner Brothers needs to get their hands dirty by jumping in and start fighting false rumors when they don't really need to at this point. That's just the way I see it. You may see it differently, and that's totally cool. But that's just my opinion on it. All right, let's get to the next question today. And the next question today comes to us from John Quick, who writes, "Hi, sons and daughters of AMC. Love the show. My question is, with production moving forward on a Constantine pilot for NBC, will this interfere or possibly stave off a Justice League Dark movie by Guillermo del Toro? He is a great director with incredible vision, and I would hate to think that we will never see this movie come to light. Thanks so much." Thanks a lot for the question, John. Let's be clear about this first. There is no Justice League Dark movie coming. There might be someday, but a lot of people think, no, Guillermo del Toro confirmed they're making a Justice League Dark movie. No, they didn't. No, he did not. He said he was working on something about Justice League Dark. They hadn't even written a script. He was talking about trying to get a certain guy to come in and write a script for it, but it's all on spec. No studio has greenlit, well, in this case, Warner Brothers. Nobody at Warner Brothers has greenlit a Justice League Dark movie. There are no plans for a Justice League Dark movie. Guillermo del Toro kind of has it as, one of his pet projects, but he's got about 40 of those things. And even in him saying, hey, I'm kind of working on this, I'd like to see it happen, and there's no script. He said, I've got a guy I'd like to come and write the script for it, and all that kind of stuff. Even then, Del Toro never said he would direct it, even if they did make it. So let's be clear about that. That even if they did at some point make a Justice League Dark movie, Guillermo del Toro has never said that he would direct it. So that's all important to keep in mind. Now, getting back to the harder question, let's assume for a second that Warner Brothers secretly is planning on greenlighting a Justice League Dark movie. Okay. In that scenario that we've created, that's not a true scenario, we're creating that. So in this created scenario that Warner Brothers is actually secretly planning on greenlighting a Justice League Dark movie, would them doing a Constantine pilot hinder Warner Brothers or deter Warner Brothers from wanting to move forward with that Justice League Dark movie? Yes, it would. I don't think Warner Brothers is going to want to have a Constantine show and a Justice League Dark franchise going at the same time. But also, you got to keep this in mind. I've said this before about a Justice League, the idea of a Justice League Dark movie. Most people have no idea what Justice League Dark is. Warner Brothers and DC right now are very 100% focused on getting their main DC universe even going. Outside of the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy, they've had a very, very difficult time, and they try to get things started with that Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. I did not hate the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie like a lot of people did. But even I, who am a very mild kind of supporter of the film, will tell you it was nowhere near as good as it should have been. There were lots of problems with it. And on whole, people do not think very positively of that Green Lantern film. And they lost money on it. So now they're focused on their heroes that people actually know and really care about. Like when I say people, I mean the wider general movie-going audience. Like Wonder Woman, like Batman, like Superman. Warner Brothers is really focused on getting that going. Because right now, the way Warner Brothers is going to look at it, and we can understand why they'd see it this way. They think, I mean, damn, if we can't get a character like Green Lantern going, who way more people know, and we lose money on that, why are we going to go onto a property where most people don't know who these characters are? Unless they, kind of vaguely remember, Keanu Reeves playing Constantine before. It's a hindrance for them. Let's put it this way. I'm not going to say that a Justice League Dark movie will never happen. Because if you got, and when it's a property of a company like Warner Brothers, and you've got a guy like Guillermo del Toro kind of trying to get it pushed forward, you can never say never. I think there's a possibility exists it could happen at some point. But it's got an uphill battle to climb. A very big uphill battle to climb. To ever see the light of day as an actual movie. And remember, too, when talking about the Constantine film, lots of TV shows get a pilot ordered, but the vast majority of pilots that get made never actually get turned into a series. So just because they're making a pilot, much like the Flash show, there's a Flash pilot that NBC has ordered. So a lot of people mistakenly go, it's official, a Flash TV show is coming. No, put on the brakes. Just because they ordered a pilot does not mean they've ordered a series. Remember, Wonder Woman had a pilot ordered, and that never got brought to series. Most pilots never get brought to series. So let's not get ahead of ourselves and think that just because there's a Constantine pilot in development, that necessarily means it'll be turned into series. It may. Hopefully it'll be really good and we get a TV series, but we just don't know. All right, let's move on to the next question. And the next question today comes to us from Thomas Lopez. And Thomas Lopez writes, "What's up, sons and daughters of AMC? My question is about the Star Wars spin-offs. When do you guys think we will see the spin-off Star Wars movies? And what do you think of Starkiller, Darth Revan?" I've only ever read Revan's name, so I don't know how it's actually pronounced. So I'm just saying Darth Revan. Or Obi-Wan spin-off. Thanks. Keep up the good work. Well, as far as when we can expect to see Star Wars spin-offs, Lucasfilm and Disney have always said that their plan is to have movies in offsetting years. So, year 1, you have a Star Wars saga movie, in this case, Star Wars Episode 7. Then in year 2, which would be 2016, you'd have a Star Wars spin-off movie. Then in 2017, you'd have the next Star Wars saga movie, Star Wars Episode 8. Then in 2019, you'd have a Star Wars spin-off movie. In 2020, you have Star Wars Episode 9. In 2021, the next spin-off movie. So they would hopscotch each other. So since Star Wars Episode 7 is coming out in December of 2015, I would guess that if they stick to the timeline they're talking about, of doing them every other year, we will see the first Star Wars spin-off movie around Christmas of 2016 or very early 2017. If they stick to that plan, saga, spin-off, saga, spin-off, saga, spin-off every alternating year. If that's what they do and they stick with that, then that's when they can see it. As far as, I wouldn't count on spin-offs for any character from what is known as the Star Wars Expanded Universe. At least the old Star Wars Expanded Universe. I don't know that they're going to have Starkiller, who, by the way, if you ever played the games where Starkiller is in there, that's the actor who they modeled the character after and who did the voice for it, is actually Sam Witwer. I actually kind of know Sam a bit. I met him a couple years ago. Hilarious dude. He also did the voice of the Emperor in those games. And when he's doing his Emperor Palpatine voice, it's hilarious. So I don't know if I'd count on any of those. I think the most likely scenario of the ones you suggested was maybe an Obi-Wan spinoff. But I think it's most likely we're going to see a Han Solo and a Boba Fett spinoff. But whoever the spinoffs are going to be around, if they stick to their plan, I anticipate we're going to see those spinoffs around Christmas of 2016. All right, next question. And this question comes to us from Jason Manwiller. And Jason Manwiller writes, huge fan of the show. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Jason. My question is about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. When are we going to see a trailer for the film? And what is the exact release date? I've seen several different release dates, and I don't know which is right. Also, if you know anything about the new film, it would be much appreciated. I know that the new film looks like a total mess. It sounds terrible. But keep in mind, how many times in all of our lives have we seen upcoming films and thought, that looks awful, that looks terrible, and it ends up being great? It happens. And that could end up happening with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So although it looks like a mess and it looks like it's going to be terrible, keep an open mind because it might end up being awesome. That being said, I am very nervous because we'll probably talk about this on AMC Movie Talk tomorrow. But if you've seen this picture going around Facebook, let me bring this picture up. It is a picture that is allegedly a leaked picture. Because, when movies are coming out, before the movies ever come out, they make deals and contracts with toy companies and game companies. And those toy companies and game companies have to know what the story of the movie is. They have to know what the characters look like. They need to know all that stuff. So this image I'm about to bring up here, this is allegedly an image of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Halloween costume based on the new movie. And now I didn't put in all these words here. This was from a website doing some commentary. But let's examine here what we've got going on. We've got him wearing a seashell necklace in which the writer says no. He's got a tattoo on his arm, some kind of stupid tattoo. He's wearing sunglasses hanging around his thing, some kind of leather straps. You can't see but further down the picture, he's got like a sweater tied around his waist and like some ripped jammer jean shorts and all this kind of stuff. And it looks terrible. Now, let's remind everybody, there is no confirmation from anywhere that this is what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to look like. The allegation right now is that this is a leaked picture from a costume company who is contracted to do costumes of the new movie, and that this is what the characters will look like. But this hasn't been confirmed, okay? So let's get that straight. This is not confirmed that the characters will look like. But if it is, I mean, it's. Let me bring this picture up again. I mean, this is butt vomit right here. That's what that is. That's awful. Now, I understand. I have a well-documented preference. I'm not a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan because I got hooked on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in their black and white comic book days when they were dark and deadly serious, and they were killers. And they were lethal, and the dialogue and the narrative was all very, very dark. And they were deadly serious. They were not cowabunga, let's eat some pizza while riding our skateboards, dudes. That was never the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the comics. But they wanted to make them into a children's property, so they transformed them into cowabunga dudes characters. And they lost me at that point. So I've never been a fan of that incarnation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When they first announced that they were going to do a new live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Michael Bay was going to be producing, and I heard it was going to be unlike anything we've seen in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before, I foolishly allowed myself to hope, that perhaps they were going to go back to the roots of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And by roots, I mean the awesome black and white original comic books, the lethal ninjas. And let's not even talk about those rumors came out that they were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this new movie are going to be aliens from outer space and transdimensional beings and all that kind of nonsense. Let's not even go into that. But like I said, I allowed myself foolishly to hope that maybe they would be getting back to the origins of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And from what I've seen so far, that's not the case. If this picture is any indication of what we're going to get in the movie, then we are still stuck with the 5-year-old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're still stuck with the children's incarnation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that doesn't appeal to me. But just because, let's be clear here, just because that doesn't appeal to me, who cares? It doesn't have to appeal to me. The question is, does it appeal to you? That's the main thing. And if it does, great. They've done their job. All I'm saying is that it doesn't appeal to me. So take that for what it's worth. As far as when it's coming out, I believe it's August 8th. I believe August 8th is the release date. And if I'm right about that, we're in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. There's still 7 months away. So if it is August 8th, as I believe it is, then I wouldn't start sweating about a trailer for at least another 2 or 3 months. I mean, they may pop one out, but I wouldn't really expect one for at least another 2 or 3 months. And maybe not even for another, 4 months. So hang in there if you're looking forward to it. I know I'm very curious to see the first trailer to see what direction this film's going to go in. But for now, just be patient. The movie's still a ways off. All right, let's get to question number 5 today. And question number 5 comes to us from Amine K, who writes, my question is regarding WB/DC. I know that Warner Brothers can't make more than one DC film a year, but look at Disney/Marvel. It's just one production company/studio, and they're released about 2 movies a year, 2 Marvel movies a year. I mean, Warner Brothers is as big as Disney. If they could make a lot of big movies and in 1 year, then why not? Cutting a little bit from the other movies and providing a budget for 2 comic book blockbuster movies. I mean, it wouldn't hurt them since they're going to make a fortune. What are your thoughts on this? Bring on the filthy. Well, I think there's a couple of reasons we don't see Warner Brothers doing 2 a year right now. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Let's first of all address your assumption that if Warner Brothers just makes a comic book movie, it's going to make a fortune. They just made Green Lantern, and that lost them almost $100 million. They lost. And don't ever think that studios, who cares? $100 million to a studio is nothing. people lose their jobs when a movie loses $20 million, loses $10 million, loses $5 million. Even to a big, massive studio, boom, just taking $5 million and throwing it in a fireplace, let alone $100 million, and just throwing it in a fireplace, that's a big deal to them. That's a huge deal to them. You put out many of those, your company goes under. So they put out Green Lantern, lost them nearly $100 million. So let's get rid of that assumption that, hey, just put out any comic book movie and it's going to make you a fortune. It won't. Green Lantern proved that. It won't. It can make you a fortune. Man of Steel proved that. But it doesn't necessarily mean you will. Green Lantern proved that. But remember, Marvel is in a different place right now than Warner. Warner Brothers is really back to square one. They're starting their whole cinematic universe over again. Marvel has completely established themselves. They already have a completely established cinematic universe, and now they're just building on it. And so they're in a position where they can start experimenting. They can do more things. They can put out 2, maybe even 3 movies in a calendar year. But Warner Brothers is in a different position right now. They just kicked things off this past summer with Man of Steel. And I think they've been very wary and very hesitant. And they didn't move too far ahead of themselves. They wanted to see how Man of Steel would perform and how well it would do. And well, performed very well. And it was still my favorite comic book movie of 2013. I think flat out, I think Man of Steel is awesome. I think it's flat out awesome. I know a lot of people don't like it, and that's totally cool. For me, I thought it was flat out awesome. I love that movie. But they just got things going again. So now they're taking baby steps. So their next step is to get this Batman versus Superman, a.k.a. Man of Steel 2. And, then probably Justice League. And, they've cast a Wonder Woman. So, they at least have a Wonder Woman film in their heads. But let's give Warner Brothers some time to at least get those next 2 movies, out. Let's let them get Man of Steel out. Man of Steel 2, I mean. Let's let them get Justice League out. And if they work the way that Man of Steel worked, then I think you'll see DC start to chug them out a little bit more rapidly. Then I think you'll probably see 3 films in 2 years or 4 films in 2 years, 2 films a year. If Man of Steel 2 and Justice League work the way Man of Steel worked, I think we'll then be in a position where we're going to see Warner Brothers crank them out because they'll have an established universe. They'll know what the temperature of their cinematic universe is. They'll have a better idea of the direction that they're going. And then they'll be in a position that Marvel is in right now. And and then maybe we'll start seeing them put out 2-3 films a year. If they continue to make money, they're still a little nervous because of Green Lantern and how much money they lost there. But if anything, I think Man of Steel was a great start. And if they can continue that and carry on that momentum, I don't think it's going to be too much longer before we see Warner Brothers in the same position that Marvel is now, putting out, 3 films every 2 years or 2 films a year. I think that'd be really cool. All right. Last question of the day. The last question has the honor of going to Manny. And Manny writes, "Great show. Keep up the good work." Thank you so much, Manny. My question is for John Campia. Well, fortunately, I'm here. Which is your favorite Star Wars video game? And how do you feel about a Star Wars video game spin-off movie? My favorite game is Bounty Hunter and would like to see a movie adaptation of that video game. Well, I'm going to go a little bit old school on you. As far as my favorite obviously I'm very Star Wars biased. I love Star Wars. My favorite, honestly, to play of all time, and if I could figure out somewhere where I could find it right now to run on my computer, I would. Maybe you guys can, let me know where I can get it. My all-time favorite Star Wars video game is the classic X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I just remember at the time when that game came out, man, it felt like you were piloting an X-Wing. And it would be so awesome. I still remember the first time when I was playing that game and I actually came across a Star Destroyer and how huge it felt, and just the feeling and the whole the way that it worked and the functionality of it and all that kind of stuff, the dynamics of it, awesome. Right? And so it might be my favorite video game of all time. StarCraft, Sam and Max Hit the Road, which was revolutionary at the time. The other one I really like is the MMORPG, which the Old Republic, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Love that game. My name was Darth Rampage. I totally dig that game. Love that game. I haven't played it in a long time because I just haven't had time. I had to kind of give it up for the same reason I gave up playing World of Warcraft, is because it was just eating all of my time. I didn't stop playing it because I was bored. Didn't stop playing because I didn't love it anymore. It's just like, I have other work to do. I need to stop this because it's all consuming. But I really like Old Republic too. As far as which game would turn great, Star Killer came up earlier. I don't think we're going to see that. But if they were going to make, if I'm one of the creative heads over at Lucasfilm and I get word from on high that Disney wants a video game spin-off Star Wars movie, I'd probably go with Star Killer. I think that character is great, and I would probably go in that direction myself. But yeah, dudes, if any of you know where I can buy a copy that would run properly on a modern computer of X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, because I think when the first computer I ran that game on was like a 486. That's going way back. Anyway, let me know. So that'll do it for me, guys. Run all out of time, and we're all out of questions. Thank you so much for joining me today on this installment of AMC Mailbag, a very laid-back show. Don't forget to join us tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday, for AMC Movie Talk. Just coming over to our YouTube channel. You can find us there. By the way, if you're not a subscriber yet, why are you not? Click on the subscribe button. Become a subscriber to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. Keep you up to date on all the latest movie news, especially our daily AMC Movie Talk show Monday through Friday, our weekend AMC Mailbag show, and our new shows like the premiering this Tuesday, AMC Versus. We really hope that you join us. And don't forget, lots of great films playing in AMC theaters right now. Head on over to www.amc theaters for your theater, showtime, and movie ticket information. Again, thank you guys for everything, for taking time out of your day to join me and talk movies. It's awesome. If you would like your question put on AMC Movie Talk, just email us your question anytime, 24/7, to amcmovietalk@gmail.com. Please understand that we do get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions, which means we probably won't be able to get to yours, but you never know. These 6 guys today had their question asked, so throw your question on in there. We answer 2 a day on AMC Movie Talk, and then a bunch on the weekends as well. So thanks a lot for joining us. So until next time, my name is John Campia for AMC Movie Talk, and until then, bye-bye.